This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. We're here real close to downtown. I'm here with the executive director, Donna Dato. And Donna, let me ask you something. Dress for Success. You guys have been serving the Denver area here for 5 years now, internationally for much longer.
Yes.
And let me ask you, how did this program get its origination?
In 1997, a woman by the name of Nancy Lublin in New York City was given a $5,000 gift by a relative with the proviso that she had to use it for good in the community. She started Dress for Success.
Wonderful. So she must have seen the need right away that basically there's folks out there that need to get out into the workforce, but it's not real easy steps, is it?
Exactly. Actually, the need started with herself. She came out of school, and while she wasn't impoverished, she had school clothing, and she was going for interviews. So that's how the whole idea came to her.
Not only that, but in this economy right now, in this day and age, it is more relevant than ever.
Absolutely. And with our just the high percentage of single women, especially single women who are single mothers who live in poverty, there's a very big need for our services here in Denver.
You have probably seen a wide gamut of folks that have come to your door. What is the typical person? Who benefits from this greatly? What type of person?
Well, that's a good question. It's a wide range of women. Yeah, we have women who are coming from halfway houses, who are coming from domestic abuse shelters, who have recently come out of prison or jail.
The thing that stands out most in my mind is I was 47 when I came in. I'm 48 now. It was the first suit I ever had. I went to an interview and had the new suit and the portfolio, and I got a job. And this place helped me do that.
But one of the groups that has been growing is we are now seeing grandmothers who are now unexpectedly raising their grandchildren. Some of these women have not worked for 20, maybe 30 years, so they are insecure about their abilities. They think maybe all they're qualified for is to work in a daycare center. And when they leave Dress for Success through our Career Center program, we've taught them transferable skills, and they can see their self-worth and what they can bring to a job.
Excellent. Let's jump right in. Let's say a viewer out there is watching. They are ready to hit the market. Obviously, they don't feel like they're trained up. They don't feel like if they went to that first interview, maybe they'd even wear the right outfit that is basically needed. So let's start, first of all, with the suiting program. How does that work?
With the suiting program, well, let me step back a minute. Every woman who comes to Dress for Success is referred here by other agencies. We have 110 partnering agencies who qualify the women for us, qualify them in that they are looking for a job or they already have a job. They send us the women, and it's by appointment only. So when the women come here, they've been pre-approved, basically.
Oh,
yes.
That answered my question as far as people coming through your doors. It's a wide gamut, but out of that wide group of people, it's anyone who is looking to improve.
Exactly. They're on the path of improvement. When they come to Dress for Success, the first thing they come here for is to receive, free of charge, an interview outfit. That could be a suit like I'm wearing, and this is a typical, in fact, this is from our racks. This is exactly, we suit our women in very professional clothing. When they after they get a job, then they can come back and they get a week's worth of clothes. Again, all of it's free. The accessories are included, including the jewelry, the scarves, the shoes.
Wonderful. So we're talking about before they go out and hit the interview, you're able to walk them through this. Let me ask you, styles change, that type of thing. So do you have people here on staff that can actually walk them through and help them match up and do that type of thing?
Yes, we have. Well, actually, our staff trains our volunteers. We have a pool of 65 active volunteers. We couldn't do our job without our volunteers. We call them our unpaid staff. They come week after week after week. We have volunteers who have been volunteering here since we opened on September 13th, 5 years ago.
Oh, well, my life was unpredictable. And when I came here, I actually found the women here were very professional. They helped me along. They made me trust people a little bit more, so that when I did go out there and look for a job or even just communicating with people on a day to day basis, they gave me the confidence that I needed to do that.
And they are trained to talk with the women. Ask them, what do you like? Would you prefer pants? Would you prefer a skirt? Do you like dresses? What's your favorite color? What do you look good in? And they work around those parameters and help them really feel good about the clothes that they have chosen.
Well, first of all, I mean, you guys are talking about clothes and we're talking about women, so it's a very personal thing what you're basically putting them on them.
Yes, it's one-on-one. Every woman who comes here receives one-on-one attention, both in the suiting program, what we call our suiting program, and then when they go into the career center, they get one-on-one attention there too.
Let's jump right into the Career Center. So obviously you've got them looking, dressing for success, but we all know there's more to it. There basically is some training involved to make sure that you know what you're up against and what's going to happen out there. So tell me about that second part.
The Career Center program started just a little over 2 years ago. Now, close to 90% of the women, every woman who walks through the door, through our doors, goes into the Career Center for training. What the volunteers do in the Career Center is they first look over their resume to make sure that it's standard appropriate for the industry that they're going into. They will help them write a cover letter to go with that, and a standard type of cover letter they could use in any situation. They also walk them through mock interviewing, and that's really one of the key components to help them feel comfortable. Because when you're out there looking for a job, a lot of interviews are just practice. You know you're not going to get the job. Well, they can consider this one of their practices because we walk them through the 5 key questions that are always asked in an interview, and they can be prepared. They write down their answers, and then they can go home and they can practice.
What's great about that is when you're out there doing interviews that you're basically just using for practice, what you don't get is the feedback.
Exactly.
And what you guys give here is the feedback on top of it that basically will help them come across successful.
You've hit on a salient point, yes, because we do give them feedback. Sometimes they come back for 2 or 3 appointments because they want to continue practicing what they've learned and they want to get better and better at it.
Wonderful. And so once they've gone through the program, obviously the next step there is your professional women's group,
Yes.
which is basically the backbone and the point that they're basically working towards, because now they're successful. They've gotten a job. They went out there and gone up quite a few steps in a very successful step program. But now it boils down to balance and how we balance out that lifestyle and become successful all the way around.
I'm going to hire you as one of our volunteers. We have men volunteers in the Career Center. The professional women's group is, yes, it's a very important component because when women enter the workforce, they need to know how to balance their work and their lives. They also have, some of them for the first time, a network of support. They're with like women. They can share their experiences. And one of the key components, one of the key goals of the professional women's group is economic independence. So we have a lot of our programs are designed on creating budgets and staying on budget, investments. If they want to start a business, we have an entrepreneur portion of it so we can help them through that. We also introduce them to programs around the city that can help them in various stages of their development and growth.
I have even recently at the last professional women's group meeting been named alumni and had the opportunity to attend a leadership meeting, which was incredibly helpful.
So basically, you've got a program that takes you by the hand when you first walk in. not so confident, not really ready to go out there and tackle what you know you want to do. But it's one thing to want to do it and not have the tools to be able to do it. And so what you basically do is you take them at that point, and by the end of that journey, you've got to be dealing with some women who feel much more comfortable and confident than when they walk through those doors.
They do. And that, again, it's a key word. You're able to find those key words, Gary. We give them tools. They do the work. It's hard work, but we're there to help them and support them and to find other tools if they need it.
Amber, I think, has been one of the most helpful. I was going through a period during my employment and I was struggling. And when I would come back and let her know some of the stories and the situations, she really broke them down in a way to help me understand and to be sensitive to how the supervisor was feeling and to make me aware of what my actions were and how I can improve the relationship between us so that I can maintain employment.
And speaking of the facility that you have here, all the women are basically referred here, and so it's open by appointment, and so they come on in. Tell me a little bit about the facility here, what we've got here. What do we have on the racks? We've got different rooms here.
This is our main boutique area, and this is where they enter to do the first shopping for their interview outfit and for their week's worth of outfits. These clothes, 96% are donated to us. And what we ask people is when they donate clothes to ask themselves one question: would I wear this outfit to an interview today? We do clothes that are donated that are 20 years old in style. So we have other agencies that we donate those clothes to that are not as particular. We have to be particular. It's not because we're snobs or clothes snobs. It's because our women, our clients, are competing with every other woman out there in Denver, and we want to level the playing field for them.
And I can guarantee you the employers that are looking at that, one of my own personal policies is I've got to be able to look like you're coming to work.
Yes.
Can I tell you're coming to work? And if I can't, you're probably not dressed up enough.
That's exactly right. And we get down to a lot of particulars because if they are, let's say, heavily tattooed in the neck area, that's okay. But not on an interview, we're going to cover a lot of that up. Sure. If they have 16 piercings in the ear, we're going to ask them to take most of those out for the interview. And as they get into their job, they can incorporate more and more of their personal style as they become comfortable in the job. So this boutique area includes all of the clothing that you see around us. We have purses, and we have a shoe room, we have jewelry, and we have an accessory like scarves station over here.
Wonderful. And so, folks, you pretty much all have it right there. Their website is at the bottom of the screen right there as well, and you can check out some things on there. And basically, it's a program that was designed years ago from the founder, who basically felt the need for herself. She decided that with a little bit of money that was given to her, she decided this would be a perfect opportunity to help women out there who are not so privileged to have some of those training tools, not so privileged to have the access to clothing. And basically, it's a wonderful organization. And you out there also, keep in mind, it is heavily donated to. And so you can also donate right there. At the bottom of the screen is the contact information. And also their support team down here is volunteers. Like she said, that is the backbone of what they do here. And so if you're a person out there who feels that you'd like to give back into your community in such a way, it's a perfect opportunity for that as well. Last thing, Donna, let me ask you, a lot of stories you've seen, a lot of them you've heard being here with the organization. Can you think of a couple offhand that just really stick out in your mind?
Yes. Now, I can't give you their names. Sure. There was a woman who came in, and it was raining so hard that day. She came in scrubs. She was in her mid-50s, and I call her Sunshine because she was radiating. She was so happy. And so I just sat with her and asked her what her story was. She had been in corporate America all her life, and 5 years earlier, in the same 6-month period, she was laid off, and her husband, who is also in corporate America, making 6 figures, both of them, he had not one but 2 strokes. And they spent all of their savings on his health care and home care that he needed constantly 24/7. she was radiating because she had gotten back to school because she couldn't find a job in her field as a vice president. So she was getting a med tech degree, and that's why she was in scrubs, and she was going for her first interview, and she was so excited. That shows to me the perseverance and the spirit of most of the women who come here. Another young woman, she was on the other spectrum age. She was 27, and she grew up in Littleton in a very nice family, was in college, and in her second year of college, she was diagnosed with cervical cancer. She went through the treatment and surgery and came out of that treatment and surgery addicted to drugs, prescription drugs. Long story short, because she told me a very long story, she ended up in prison for dealing the drugs, and she had just gotten out of prison, and now she was going to high schools around Denver. Just breaks my, I mean, it's just an amazing story to me. Talking to students about choices, that was her theme. Yeah. And so she again shows the spirit of endurance and perseverance and just not plodding through life, but really giving it all you can.
Wonderful. Folks, you have it all right there. And as you can see, ladies out there who are thinking about the program, obviously it is choices that you make, but a lot of times the choices are made for us, and we just have to deal with those choices and do it in the right positive way. And so, folks, remember that's Dress for Success, and they're located here right in Denver, and Suits to Self-Sufficiency. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.
I would just say be yourself and never give up.
If you had to describe this program in one word, what would that be?
I'm flooded with so many words. Overall, phenomenal.